I can still picture the way she strolled through the front door that morning, glowing, almost ethereal, like she'd just stepped out of a spa or returned from a serene weekend getaway. The sunlight hit her just right as she tossed her bag onto the entryway table, her laughter dancing off the walls like wind chimes on a spring morning. There I stood, clutching my coffee, eyes fixed on my phone screen, though I wasn't really reading a thing. My stomach twisted, dropping like an elevator in free fall. "Morning, babe," she sang, leaning in to press a quick kiss to my cheek. Her lips were soft, familiar, but distant, cold, like muscle memory rather than genuine affection. Just another item on her morning checklist. "Hey, morning." I managed to fake a smile, though every nerve in my body was coiled tight. God, I wanted to say something, confront her, shake the truth out of her right then and there. But I didn't. Not yet. I needed her to see it for herself. I wanted her to understand the gravity of what she'd done, and to know there was no coming back from it. My name's Evan, and I've been married to Maria for 7 years. To the outside world, we looked like a dream. One of those couples people secretly compare themselves to. Our friends admired us. Our parents beamed with pride. You know the kind. Maria was my college sweetheart, the one everyone adored, the girl I still couldn't believe said yes when I popped the question. We built a life, a home, a rhythm. We traveled, we laughed, we mapped out our future like any hopeful couple does. And I thought we were good. I thought I was living the dream. I was until about a month ago. It crept in gradually, like a hairline crack spreading across glass. At first, it was little things. She started working late more often, blaming looming deadlines and high-maintenance clients. Her phone was never out of reach, always buzzing with messages she didn't want me to see, turning the screen away just slightly whenever I looked her way. The justifications? They piled up, each one flimsier than the last. Still, I tried not to let it get to me. But suspicion, once planted, grows roots fast. It gnaws at your peace, carves holes into your gut until you can't ignore the emptiness anymore. So I did what a lot of people in my position end up doing, even if they won't admit it. I searched for answers. I snooped. No, I'm not proud of it. Who would be? But when the ground starts shifting beneath you, instinct kicks in. And so I dug. And I dug deep. Didn't take much digging. One late-night message left unanswered. A stray email preview blinking across her phone screen. And boom. There it was. His name. Mark. Some guy from her office. Young, unattached, probably charming in that smug, calculated way. The kind of guy who circles married women like a hawk, waiting for cracks to appear. Boredom, doubt, anything that makes them forget what they already have. The signs lined up like dominoes. After-hours drinks, those urgent telephone calls, overnight projects, and finally, the clincher. The night before, I reviewed footage from a camera I'd tucked away in the corner of our living room. Small, subtle, easy to miss. By then, I wasn't even chasing a confession. I had what I needed. Every lie, every shift in her tone had led here. This wasn't about catching her anymore. It was about showing her. So I clipped the footage, cleaned it up a bit, and transferred it to my laptop. When she left for her so-called girls' night, I hooked the laptop up to our TV, the same one she switched on every morning while sipping her smoothie like everything was picture perfect. The symbolism wasn't lost on me. It hit like glass in my throat. That morning, as she breezed through the door all sunshine and ease, I already knew the truth behind that smile. It wasn't meant for me. Her mind was still tangled up in him, in whatever fantasy she'd built around their secret little world. My hands tightened around the coffee mug, as she floated through the room. Still, I said nothing. Not yet. I wanted her to feel safe, to believe, just for a moment longer, that she'd fooled me. "You're up early," she said, slipping off her heels and flinging her jacket over the chair without missing a beat. "Yeah," I said, playing it cool. "Couldn't sleep." "Aw, babe, I'm sorry." That sugary smile again, the one that used to melt me. Now it curdled something in my gut. She strolled to the couch, grabbed the remote, and aimed it at the screen. Click, and I held my breath. The screen blinked to life. At first, she didn't even notice. Half distracted, thumbing through her phone, legs curled under her on the couch like it was just another lazy Sunday. But then came the sound. Soft, unmistakable laughter. Hers. She stiffened. The phone slid from her fingers and landed silently in her lap as her head snapped toward the television. "What?" she breathed, voice barely audible. And there she was, Maria, glowing under the warm haze of a bar's low light, sitting way too close to Mark. Her hand rested on his arm. Her eyes lit up like I hadn't seen in months, maybe years. The smile that used to be mine now belonged to someone else. The footage rolled on, spliced together like a twisted home movie. My handiwork. I'd cut the clips clean, just enough to say everything that needed saying. Them walking into our living room. Her giggling. Him pulling her in. Clothes hitting the floor like confetti. She turned ghost white. "Evan, what?" Her voice cracked like the surface of something long frozen finally giving way. "You tell me," I replied, my tone ice cold. Too calm. The kind of calm that makes your skin crawl. She shot up, lunging for the remote, but I was already there. My hand closed around her wrist mid-reach. "No, Maria," I snapped, steel in my voice. "You wanted to play house with him behind my back? Then sit down. Watch. See exactly what you traded our life for." Her eyes filled fast, tears brimming at the edges, blurring her vision. "I can explain," she whispered, desperate now. "There is no explanation," I said with a dry, bitter laugh. "Seriously? You think there's a version of this?" I gestured to the screen. "Where you walk me through your reasons, and somehow I nod and say, okay, that makes sense? You brought him here, into our house, our home." She opened her mouth, but nothing came out. Just the silent tremble of her lips, her shoulders. I'd never seen her speechless before, not like this. She stood there, shaking like a candle flame about to go out. "Evan, please." Her voice cracked again, this time soaked in panic, in regret, in fear. "Please what?" I said, the pain finally breaking through my throat. "Please forgive you? Pretend like this never happened?" I let out another hollow laugh. "No, Maria. You don't get to cry your way out of this." And I didn't yell, didn't smash anything. I didn't unravel. No theatrics, just quiet precision. Instead, I walked over to the table and picked up the manila envelope I tucked away days ago. Folded, neat, waiting. I held it out to her. What is this?" she whispered, her fingers trembling as they gripped the envelope. "It's everything you're walking away with," I said, voice flat, measured. Inside were the divorce papers, already signed on my end. My attorney had dotted every I and crossed every T. The house, the accounts, even her car, everything sat under my name, ironclad in the prenup she'd once brushed off as just a formality. Turns out it wasn't. No, Evan, please," she stammered, slipping through the pages like she could will the words to change. "You can't do this. You can't." "Oh, but I am," I said, stepping in just close enough for her to hear the weight behind every word. And guess what? You handed me the pen. Maria, this is what it looks like when actions catch up with consequences. You made a decision. You picked him. You picked this. Her knees buckled, and she crumpled onto the couch, hands covering her face as sobs broke loose, raw, ragged. But I didn't flinch. I didn't feel pity. That part of me had died the moment she came waltzing in with that smile, blind to the wreckage she'd caused. I left that same afternoon. My bags had been packed the night before. Everything in my life was folded, zipped, and ready to go. I took my clothes, my books, the dog, even the French press she never figured out how to use. I left her with empty closets and the echoes of what used to be. Just before stepping out, I glanced back one final time. She was still sitting there, still holding the papers like they might bite her. Her face pale, streaked with mascara, her shoulders shaking under the weight of everything she'd lost. I could have said more, could have shouted, slammed the door, or let every curse I'd swallowed rip loose. But I didn't. Instead, I gave her one final truth. You never deserved me, Maria. Not then, not now, not ever. The divorce moved through like a breeze, clean, swift. She fought, sure, texted me long-winded apologies, voice notes full of shaky crying and hollow promises. She said she was sorry, said she didn't mean it, said she still loved me, said she wanted to fix things. I didn't answer, not once. Eventually, I heard she moved in with Mark. Figures. But word travels, and not long after, I found out it didn't last. Of course it didn't. Things built on lies tend to collapse under their own weight. As for me, I moved on. No fanfare, no dramatic reinvention, just quiet, steady peace, the kind that settles deep in your bones when you stop pretending and start breathing again. People sometimes ask if I regret how it ended, if I'd do anything differently. Truth? Not a damn thing. Because the second her mask slipped and the truth came crashing down around her like glass, I didn't just walk away. I walked away free. And honestly, there's no better feeling than that.